how are you living your life without knowing why you're here, what your calling is, how you're gonna serve, the message you have, the impact that you wanna have. It's crazy. Like, you can't live a happy, fulfilled life until you know what that is. You cannot allow yourself to show up every day in life feeling insecure, cowardly, small, scared, afraid, little. Your big, amazing, bold ideas are not logical, they're not practical, and they're not safe.
Need motivation?
Watch the top 10 of Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and the chances are you are the most ambitious person in your circle. But you know you're capable of more, and you get a push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and his top 10 rules for success. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Find your calling.
Finding your calling is easy. I think it's crazy that people don't know how to find their calling. I think it's among the most important questions that you need to figure out in life. Like, how are you living your life without knowing why you're here, what your calling is, how you're gonna serve, the message you have, the impact that you wanna have. It's crazy. Like, you can't live a happy, fulfilled life until you know what that is. And it's not that difficult. And it just blows my mind, because when you figure it out, when Will Smith figures it out, when all these super insanely talented people figure it out, the world's gonna change. Can you imagine a world where everybody has found their calling and is living it? I wanna live in that world. And so that's why I'm trying to create that world.
Rule number 2. Believe.
You've got a great idea. You know it can change the world. You know it could have a big impact. You know it could change the fortunes of yourself, your family, the people around you. You've got a great idea. You know it can work. You know it can work. The problem is, you don't know if it can work for you. You believe in the idea, but you don't believe in yourself. And so here's what's happened. Why? Well, it's because you've tried and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped, and you maybe saw a little bit, tiny results, but then you lose the motivation and you stop. You've never stayed with anything long enough to actually let it see results. And so you built up this pattern inside yourself that says, I can't do it. The idea is great, but I can't do it. That's really at the core. If you really believed that you could do it and you really believed in the idea, you'd be doing it and crushing it. So that's the biggest difference. That's why lack of belief is the world's biggest problem. The only thing you're missing is actual sustained momentum against your ideas. Because if you believe that you could do it, you'd be out there doing it. You believe in your idea and how it could change the world, but you don't believe in your own abilities to do it.
Rule number 3. Keep learning.
I'm going to teach you a mindset hack that, if you can learn to apply, will help you eliminate your self-doubt, your fears, your insecurities, and step forward confidently into whatever situation you get yourself into. And it's this: you teach yourself that you can learn anything. You can learn anything. You may not have the answers right now. You may not know how to do the crazy thing that you want to do. You've got big goals, big dreams, big ambitions. You want to do something big. That's why you're watching this channel, right? You're part of Believe Nation. You want to do something big with your life. I love it. You don't know how to do it. You teach yourself, I can learn anything. Because what we often struggle with is, you want to do something, you know you can't do it yet, and then you associate with that, I suck. I can't do something, so I suck. And that attack on your self-worth, on your self-confidence, on your self-esteem prevents you from actually going off and creating something amazing, right? I think you're a genius. I think you have Michael Jordan level talent at something. I believe that. I don't just say it in videos. I believe that that's true. So whatever you're stuck on, instead of making yourself feel like you suck, that you're not good enough, that you're not capable of it, understand that it's just a skill set that's missing. The difference between where you're at right now and where you want to be is the skills that you acquire and then the action that you're taking. You're willing to take action. The problem is you probably don't have the skills yet to be where you want to be. That's okay. You tell yourself, I can learn anything. Learning becomes your superpower.
Rule number 4. Serve.
Some people are built to serve the world. Some people want to have a giant mission, a giant vision. You want to impact the lives of millions of people. That's me. That may be you if you're watching this. That's most entrepreneurs, I think. You have a giant vision and you want to change the world. But some people are built to serve the 25 closest people to them. If I look at my wife Nina as an example, she doesn't have a giant mission. She doesn't have a giant vision, but she still wants to serve. If you're not happy in life, it's because you're not serving. You're not serving deeply enough to the people who you care most about, or you're not serving broadly enough to have a big enough impact on the people around you, your community, your country, your continent, the world, right? So entrepreneurs will default to, I think we want to serve the world. They did functional MRIs on the brain, functional MRIs, and they studied the impact of serving, of helping other people. And it showed that when you serve other people, when you get the satisfaction, you help somebody else out, it touches the same part of your brain as eating food and having sex, which are both also pretty important things in life. I think you would agree. And so you're built to serve. And they went deeper into the study and they found that giving triggers it more than receiving. So all of the stories that we know of how giving is great and Santa Claus and, you know, it's better to give than to receive and all this stuff, right? The things that we've been told in our stories that have been handed down to us is backed up by science. It's backed up by science. So if you're not happy right now, if you're a little bit low right now, the easiest path out is service. Serve, go help people. If you woke up every day and felt like the work that you did mattered to somebody, either to, again, the closest people to you, like my wife who's still in touch with their friends from kindergarten in China, to someone like me who wants to have a giant impact and reach 1 billion people around the world. If you're not happy, all you have to do is start to serve. Also, if you want to have more self-belief and more self-confidence, I have designed a free training program just for you, where every day for the next 254 days, I'll send you an email with an unlisted video to help you boost your confidence. The science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit, and so I want you to build the habit of self-belief and self-confidence. It's 100% free. The link to join is in the description below. If you're doing work that you love, you're more likely to follow through. You're more likely to do it because it doesn't feel like work, because you love doing it. Don't worry what the first step is. People write in and say, what's my first? It doesn't matter. Something. Do something, and then do something again tomorrow, and do something again the next day, and every day you get a little bit better. They're great because they can help you, one, navigate the waters of dealing with publishers and creating a proposal that's really going to win, because you might only get one shot with a publisher, especially as a new author. And if your proposal sucks, they likely won't want to look at it again unless you've done something dramatic on your audience size to really build up notoriety around yourself.
Rule number 5, take action.
The law of attraction definitely works. Most people just get it wrong. Most people only focus on the thinking part and not the most important part, which is the action, right? Law of attraction. It's the last 5 letters that matter. A-C-T-I-O, A-C-T-I-O-N. 6. The last 6 letters that matter. Action, action, action. Thinking about it alone is not enough. So it's the 2 parts. You get an idea. You want something into your life. You want to manifest something amazing. You want success in your business. You want a happy relationship. Awesome. You want to speak on giant stages. Whatever the thing is that you want in your life. Awesome. You have a vision board. Amazing. Just the fact that you're thinking about it and believing in it is already a big step ahead of where most people are. Most people live in a negative zone. Most people feel like their life is hopeless, that they can't make a change, that they're stuck where they are. And guess what happens? They stay exactly stuck where they are, right? What you focus on ends up becoming your reality. So yes, you're going to focus on your new goal, your new habit, the new thing that you want into your life. Amazing. You believe that it's possible. Amazing. You're putting up a vision board with it on your wall. Amazing. You're researching and watching videos like this every day. Amazing. That's great. That's the first starting point. But nothing happens until you take action. Nothing happens until you take action. Thinking alone is not enough. Again, it puts you ahead of most of the world, puts you way ahead of them, but you're still just going to be this super smart, super ambitious person sitting at home not achieving your goals. You have to do something. I look at my YouTube channel as an example. My main channel, I want to get to 10 million subscribers. That's my next goal, right? We hit 1, we hit 2, I got to hit 10. At the rate that we're growing, it's not fast enough. Like, it's going to take me way too many years to make it happen. So I need to apply more pressure against it. So part of what I look at every day now in my morning routine is I want to hit my goal. I want to get 10 million subscribers on my YouTube channel, right? I want to be, one of the first. thought leaders, experts, business person to have 10 million subscribers on a YouTube channel. It's my next goal. Great. Writing that down every day doesn't make sure that it's going to happen. What am I doing? Right? Writing it down can lead to thoughts that then lead to action. But what am I actually doing? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing now. One of the biggest things I'm working on now, big new initiative for my team, is I've got 6,000 public videos on my main channel. And I told my team this week, I want to go back and update all of the thumbnails and all of the titles across all my videos. That's a lot of videos, right? That's 6,000 videos. Imagine doing split tests on all of those videos. I asked for 10 a day. And so 2 key people on my team are working together to come up with what the titles are going to be. And then the other one's doing the graphic design to create the thumbnails. Maybe it works the first time. Maybe it doesn't. And it's a big, ambitious project. If you think about it, we got 6,000 videos, 10 videos a day. You know, in a year, if we did it for 10 videos every day, we're just over half of those videos, assuming that they all work out, which they won't. So this is our test. And if it works, awesome. I might have that become somebody's full-time job so that we can do 20 split tests a day, 40 split tests a day, 100 split tests a day. I don't know. But it's happening through action, right? So it starts with the idea. If you have the idea, but you're not taking action, you won't get results. If you just have the action, but you have no idea, you're running around with a chicken with your head cut off. You're going in circles without any clear direction. Most people think too much and don't do enough. That's most people. Some people do too much and don't think enough. Some people need more planning. But in general, most people are over planners. And so watching this video alone is not enough. It's a great start. It might boost your motivation. It might give you an idea to go off and try. Watching my content, watching Dan Locke's content alone is not enough. It's the essential first piece of the ingredient. It's essential. Surrounding yourself with people who build you up, who make you believe, who give you ideas you can act on, that allow you to feel like your goals are possible, that your dreams are within reach, is super important. I do it every day. It's why I create all these channels. I think you should too. You'll notice a difference in how you think every single day if you are creating content and consuming content that builds you up. But then you still have to go take the second step. It's why after every video, I have a question of the day or I have a 3-point landing question, because I want you to take action. You need to teach yourself that after every video you watch, after every podcast you listen to, after every book that you read, that's not enough. You have to do something about it. I'd rather you watch fewer videos, read fewer books, listen to fewer podcasts, consume less if you're taking action on the ideas that come to you. Because most people are just professional consumers. And it's great that you're consuming educational content, because most people are just consuming stupid content, right? You hate your life, so you go watch Netflix all day when you get home for 5 hours and then go to sleep, right? You're a professional consumer, but you're consuming wasteful content, just entertaining content. So you've already taken a step above, right? You're consuming educational content. That's the next step. You're consuming educational content. Amazing. But still, that alone is not enough. What separates the people who go off and achieve their dreams from the ones who just have things on a vision board is that last step of taking action.
Rule number 6, listen to your heart.
So your head only understands the world that exists. Your head is logical, it's practical. And so whatever's been done can be done again, right? It's logical. And so if you've got a job at some company, you know you can make X thousands of dollars a year. That's safe, that's logical, that's practical. You know it can be done. It exists. Other people have done it too. You compound that with people telling you to do the safe thing, right? Go get a job, go take the safe path, go take the safe route. And so there's a lot of outside forces, especially fear generated, that keep you on a small path, keep you on the safe path. And it's not necessarily wrong. It's not malicious. They're not trying to hurt you. It's just fear-based, and so it's small. You never create amazing things when you're living in a fear-based state. And that's what you're doing when you make big decisions with your head. Because your head only understands a practical world that currently exists. Now your heart's a different story. Your heart can create something that's never existed before. Your heart is where all the artists live, all the game changers live, all the people who end up making massive change in the world. That's where they live. They're creating something new. They say, I see something that other people don't see, and I can go create it. That's heart. You're creating something that hasn't existed before. That doesn't make sense. That's not logical. That's not practical. There's nothing to tell you that this could work, but you feel that it can work. That's where I know you guys are at. If you're watching this channel, you're watching this video, that's where I know you're at. The problem is living inside your head instead of living inside your heart. So what happens is you'll have some days where you're living in your heart. You'll have some days where you feel bold, motivated, excited, feeling like you're capable. Like maybe you could actually do this. You'll have some days. I'm gonna switch my hand. My hand's getting tired of holding the video. You'll have some days where you'll actually feel that way. Like maybe I can be the person. I am bold. Maybe you watch a video, maybe you just wake up and you get inspired. You had a great dream, something happens, and you have this moment where you just feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, and say, today's my day. I'm gonna go off and do it and crush it. Right? We've all had those moments. But then you wake up the next day and you're back to being in your head, telling yourself, I can't do this. I didn't go to school for this. I don't have the money for this. I don't have the talent for this. I'm not good enough for this. I'm not brave enough or courageous enough for this, right? That's all your head talking to yourself. When you haven't fully decided on something big, what ends up happening is your head and your heart fight. So if you haven't fully decided that you want to start this business, that you want to hit your 10 million subscribers on YouTube, that you want to fill in a blank, your big, crazy, ambitious goal, when you haven't fully decided on it, your head and your heart are going to fight. They should fight. Because it's not logical, it's not safe, it's not practical. If it was, it wouldn't be a big idea. Your big, amazing, bold ideas are not logical, they're not practical, and they're not safe. And so your head is always gonna say, whoa, 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 slow down, this is scary. And most of the time you're gonna listen to your head, and the people around you will tell you listen to your head. What you need to do is fully decide. What you need to do is decide that this is going to happen, that it's not an option anymore, that there's no maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. Your heart has to decide the big decisions in your life. Should you go move to that other country or other city? Should you go marry that person or not? Should you go take that job or not? Should you go start that business or not? Big decisions with your heart. And then you use your head to help you figure out the how.
Rule number 7. Stop judging yourself.
Making decisions for your life based off of what other people expect you to do is the fastest way to hate your life. Most people actually hate their lives. Most people are not doing the thing that they could be great at, and they're judging you for you going off and chasing down your dream. Listening to them is the fastest way to crush your dreams and never achieve the Michael Jordan level greatness that you have inside you. You're a weird duck. This is one thing that I've learned from all of my travels, from all the entrepreneurs I've visited around the world. I'm a weird duck, and so are you. You're a weird duck. You like weird things. You're not normal. You don't want to be normal. You don't want to be normal. You do not want to be normal. And yet you judge yourself based off of what other people expect a normal person to do. And it's time to stop it. And I'm leaning into it more and more and more and more and more. And I hope I can give you permission to lean into it more and more and more as well. I'm here in beautiful Puerto Rico. We're taking a walk down the beach earlier today with my wife, Nina, and we were supposed to film. But the sound on the beach is crazy. Hopefully you can still hear it here. It's still got some wind, but on the water it's a crazy windy day, so we came back up to film. And as I was walking, I did a quick Instagram video of just my feet in the sand, and somebody DM'd me as a response to say, man, if I was there, I'd have a really hard time focusing on work. And I responded, I can't wait to get back to my room to go film. Like, this is beautiful, I love it, it's amazing, right? Like, what a scenery, I'm blessed to be here. Grateful that I can have the kind of business that allows me to travel and see these awesome places, but I love the work. I love working. I love making videos for you guys. I can't wait to plan, the next week, the next month, the next quarter for what I'm gonna be doing in my business. I love it. After I'm done filming, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go down on the beach. We're gonna go down there. See those chairs right there? We're gonna go down there. Nina's gonna work on her tan. Probably pass out. That's the goal. She wants to try to sleep. I'm gonna be working. I'm gonna be looking at my YouTube stats. I'm gonna be planning my membership course. I'm gonna be looking at my YouTube growth bootcamp. I'm gonna be working on the book launch. I'm gonna be working, and I love it. I love it. And that's weird. That's not what most of these people want to do, right? That's not what these guys want to do. But most people come to a place like this to escape a life that they hate. They come to a place like this for a couple days or for a week to escape a life that they hate. They can run away. They just want to lie on the beach and forget my life. Forget that world exists and just escape. I think that's a huge mistake. There's nothing wrong. If you love the beach, you love the ocean, you love the weather, it's beautiful weather. Coming from Toronto, Canada, we're buried under snow right now, so this is beautiful weather. There's nothing wrong with that. But what's better is fixing your life. If you're looking forward to your next vacation, that's amazing because you're looking forward to it, but not because you're trying to run away from something. And that's what most people are doing. That's what most people are doing. They run away from a life that they hate. It's not the path. And these are the people whose opinions you're worried about. The people who wake up every day, go to a job that they hate, so that once a year they can come on a vacation like this, are telling you that you suck, that you're crazy, that you shouldn't be doing this crazy thing. They gave up on their dreams years ago. Don't let that infect you. And it's not that they suck and that you need to put them down, but you can't let that toxicity seep into yourself.
Rule number 8, be bold.
Every day you have a choice. Every day you have to decide who's gonna show up today. Is it gonna be the you who settles, who stays comfortable, who does what everybody wants you to do, who just is afraid, scared, is unwilling to do the things that you need to do to go off and accomplish your dreams? Or is it gonna be the bold version, the courageous version, the one who believes that you can create something that nobody else around you believes is possible to create? That's a daily battle. Even for me, it's a daily battle. We wake up and have to fight ourselves every day, because no matter how great a day you had yesterday, no matter how bold you're feeling today, tomorrow is a new battle, is a new day. And with time, yes, you can raise your baseline so that what a morning feels like is not as bad as it used to be. But the decision to be bold, courageous, unstoppable is a daily battle for everybody. The difference, what makes a difference? The difference between the people who wake up and then go off and doing amazing things and the people who just stay small and stay stuck knowing that they're capable of more, the difference is that successful people demand excellence from themselves every day. And it starts with having a morning routine that sets them up for success. What is your morning routine? Now, some of you may have a morning routine. You may be thinking, oh, not another morning routine video. Listen, if you're not feeling bold and confident every day, your morning routine is not serving you. And you might have the best morning routine of anybody that you know. You might be the only person who's working out every morning or who's watching a video every morning, who's spending any kind of time on themselves every morning, because most people wake up like an accident. Most people wake up, check their phone, start responding to other people's emergencies, and never spend any time building the life or the person that they want to build, right? That's most people. That's fine. That's not you. Probably. If you're watching this video, you're subscribed to this channel, that's probably not you. But it doesn't mean that your morning routine can't serve you better. The acid test for a great morning routine is, do you feel bold, courageous, and unstoppable every day after finishing it? A lot of people just go through the motions. A lot of people watch a video like this while they're making breakfast or cleaning the sink or doing something else. You're not focused. You're not paying attention. You need to. Because if you're not focused and paying attention to what you're doing in your morning routine, you're not getting the feeling that you need to feel at the end of your morning routine. I don't care if your morning routine takes you 5 minutes or 2 hours. Do you feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, courageous at the end of it? If not, you need to fix it. Now, what makes a routine get somebody to feeling bold, powerful, courageous, unstoppable is different for different people, right? The thing is, I'm gonna switch my hand here, getting tired. Whew. The thing is, everybody has something that makes you feel that feeling. You felt it before. And what it is for me is always going to come down to service and feeling like the work that I do matters as important. So the thing I do in my morning routine is I always share a daily message. And so I'll go to my Instagram and I'll share a daily message. And I remind myself that what I do matters. It serves people. It's having an impact, right? If you woke up and felt like the work you did every day was going to have an impact, you'd be a lot more bold, courageous, and willing to take bigger chances. And so that's what I try to do every single morning. But what works for me may not work for you. That's okay. The good news is you felt bold. You have felt courageous. You have felt unstoppable at some point in your life. The problem is it's just not consistent. So what is the thing that you did that you experienced to help you feel that level of boldness, where you felt like you were capable of doing things greater than what you're doing right now? What happened? What experienced? Were you watching a video? Were you listening to a podcast? Were you doing an act of service? Were you sharing a message? Were you talking to your mom? Like, what were you doing? Were you meditating naked with your cat outside? I don't care what it is, right? What did you do that made you feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, and confident? And then how can you inject that into your daily life every day, so you start every day with that thing as a reminder for you to go off and live a courageous, bold, powerful life? Because what you're doing now is tiny compared to what you're capable of. And chances are there's nobody in your life who's pushing you like you need to be pushed. You're probably the person pushing other people to do great things. And other people in your life, they may not be supportive, they may be supportive, but even the ones who are supportive, are not telling you, this thing you're doing is great. And you know what? You could be doing way better, man. Like, this is small compared to what you're capable of. The people who are supportive, they love you. They're cheering you on, but they already think you're great. Their version of greatness is tiny compared to yours, and you know it. It's awesome to be seen as great in their eyes, but you know you're capable of way, 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 way more. And that doesn't happen if you're waking up every day and just feeling okay. If you're waking up every day in doubt, in fear, and insecurity, and that's how you show up to life. You cannot allow yourself to show up every day in life feeling insecure, cowardly, small, scared, afraid, little. It's a choice. And it's easy to stay there by default because our head keeps us afraid.
Rule number 9, appreciate little wins.
The only thing you're missing is momentum. You're a genius. You have great ideas. That idea you have in your head is amazing, can work, can make a lot of money, can impact the world, can serve the people around you. You're a genius. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. You've got Grant Cardone level talent at something. You, even though everybody telling you you can't, nobody's done it in your family before, nobody's done it in your community before, you can do it. You've got it. The only thing, the only thing that you're missing is momentum. You're not doing enough. You're not getting enough results. You're not getting the little wins. The little wins lead to bigger wins, lead to more wins, lead to bigger wins, lead to bigger wins. Momentum. I have a YouTube course that I put out, and once a month I'm in a Facebook group, and we do a live chat with the people who bought the course to help them continue to grow and blow up their channel. And 2 days ago I posted in the group to say, hey, for our next call that's coming up, what do you want to learn? How can I help? We've got this once a month time together, you and me, solo time. Like, what can I help you with? What topics do you want to learn more about? And you know what the number one response was? The number one response that people voted up was how to stay motivated when you're not getting results. How to stay motivated when you're not getting results. It wasn't a tactical thing. It wasn't how do I fix my thumbnails? How do I fix my intros? What do I title my video? Do you like my color scheme? What topic should I create? How often do I post? How long should a video be? None of that stuff. It's how do I stay motivated when I'm not getting instant early results? And so that's what we're going to talk about next week on the call when we get on. And I think back to when I first started. And there's lessons here for you, not just if you're interested in YouTube, but whatever you're doing. When I first started, I started speaking before I started doing YouTube. And I remember I would go and do a speaking gig, and my first one, only 3 people showed up. And I would feel such a high after the speaking gig. Like, man, what this matters. This is amazing. I just helped some people. And then I'd wake up the next day and feel no energy, no momentum. It's like, man, I don't believe in myself anymore. Who am I to go and do this? All of a sudden, the question, the doubt, the insecurities just take over again. Like, where was the Evan from yesterday? And so what I did was, after every time I did a presentation, I asked for feedback, and people would email me their feedback, and the best feedback I put into a PowerPoint file. I put into a PowerPoint file, and I'd watch this presentation every morning that I made, super simple, put it to a music soundtrack that I like, and it would just be instant, over and over and over again, all the feedback that I got, to remind myself that the work that I did matters. Because yesterday it felt amazing because I was out there speaking and helping people, But today, it doesn't feel real anymore. It's crazy how that can happen overnight. And so I watch the PowerPoint file every morning to remind myself that the work that I do matters, that this is happening, that even if I've only touched 3 people, I touched 3 people. It helped them. It was meaningful to them. And I have to keep going, right? It's the small wins. The momentum. The only thing I was missing was momentum. The same thing for you. When I first started on YouTube, the first video that I put up was on Walt Disney. And my mom commented on it, and my sister commented on it, and then one other random person that I don't know commented on it in the first year. So think about it. The first year of me having my YouTube channel up, my first video, 3 comments on that video. And one was my mom and one was my sister, so only really 1 comment from a stranger, someone I didn't know, on my first video after 1 year of it being live. Isn't that crazy? And so what I would do is, I'd look at my comments every day, and even though they'd be the same comments because I wasn't getting very many, even seeing my mom's comment or my sister's comment or that one random dude's comment, knowing that, hey, it touched that one random dude. I have to keep going. I gotta keep moving it. Now I'm spoiled. You know, every day I still look at comments as part of my daily routine, as a reminder to myself. This stuff, the beach views, that kind of stuff, that doesn't motivate me. That doesn't motivate me. It's fun being here. I'm blessed and grateful to have the kind of business that can take me here and travel around the world and do speaking gigs and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. But the thing that gets me up, that motivates me, that fires me up, is knowing that people are consuming my content and it makes a difference.
Rule number 10, the last one before our very special bonus clip, change your circle.
We don't change the people we hang out with because we're afraid. We're afraid that we're not going to find new people. We're afraid that we don't know where to find new people. We're afraid that we're going to get rejected and judged by these new people. We're afraid that if we lose the people who are hanging around us right now, that we'll have nobody, that we're starting over from scratch and we don't know what to do. And it's better to be with people who are just okay than to be lonely and be by ourselves. That's the problem. You're just afraid. But here's the thing. If you don't change it, if you don't change your circle, you're never going to grow. Chances are right now you are the most ambitious person that you know. You're the most ambitious person, the happiest person, the most positive person, the most optimistic, the most ambitious, the most loving, caring, big dreams person in your circle. Chances are that's you. And that's amazing. That's an amazing gift that you can give other people. You can pull other people up and you can support them and cheer them on. But who's doing that for you? Who's pulling you up? Who do you hang out with who makes you feel like you need to get better? Who's pulling you into a different world? Who says, hey, you can be more positive. You can play a bigger game. You need to believe in yourself more. Who does that for you? Chances are nobody. That's the problem. That's also maybe why you're watching these videos. It's why I make these videos on my channels, because I want to try to be that person for people. I want people to believe in themselves more, and content is definitely a way to do it. This is the starting point, but you have to decide that you're ready to play a bigger game. And that comes with making changes in your life. And that comes with taking some people out of your life. Now, doesn't mean you cut them out completely. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. You know, if your mom is always the one being negative and telling you that you suck or questioning you on things, maybe you don't want to cut her out of your life. But just because you were friends with somebody in high school or kindergarten doesn't mean that you should still be friends now. A lot of us are in these relationships out of convenience. Just because it's how it's been. You've always been friends with this person, so you must stay friends with this person. It doesn't mean you have to become mortal enemies, but you're going to outgrow people. Think about how much you've grown in the past 10 years, 20 years. Think about me. I'm turning 40 in May. So, 20 years since university, the people who I was with in university in 30 years since school, man, how much have I grown in the past 30 years? How much have you grown in the past 20 years? How much have the people around you grown? Probably not that much. And so if you keep growing, and they're just kind of staying where they are, you slowly lose things to be able to talk about and connect over. And so you might pull them up a little bit, but you can only pull them up to the extent that you've grown. And they're likely pulling you down in a lot of areas. And so you have to do an audit. My recommendation is you do an audit. You do an audit on your life. You do an audit on the people around you. Think about who you hang out with the most. Start with the people. Like, who are you hanging out with the most? Your friends, your family, people in your social circle, people at work. Who are you hanging out with the most? And who actually gives you energy? Do an audit. Who gives you energy? And if they're giving you energy, you want to spend more time with them. You want to try to spend more time with them. And if they're sucking your energy dry every time, if you're leaving conversations with people feeling depleted, negative, pessimistic, man, you really need to spend less time with that person or just shut them out of your life completely. Because you living around negative, pessimistic people is not going to let you go off and build something amazing.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch something and get motivated and just get inspired, you have a 35% chance of actually following through. But when you get motivated and then you actually create an action plan for what you're gonna do, you increase it from 35% to 91% chance of you actually following through. And when you share your plan publicly, that jumps to 95% chance of following through. So I want that for you. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
How you want it to happen is not how it's actually going to happen. And this is one of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs can't get the genius ideas that you've got in here, out into the world. You're a genius, you're an entrepreneur. I love the ideas you have. You've got ideas that can change the world. You've got ideas that will have a gigantic impact on the people around you and make the world a better place. I believe it. I know you've got that. Here's why a lot of entrepreneurs never make it. It's because the perfect model that you've built in your head is not actually a feasible one. You're close. It's not way off. But it's the inability to change the model based off of what you're getting feedback on, to say, no, this has to be the way. You need to match up what you love doing with what there's a demand for, with what the market is telling you. And too often the market's saying, do this, change here, pivot this way. And stubborn entrepreneurs are not willing to listen, and they die with their ideas still in them.
And if you want another top 10 rules from Evan, check out the video next to me. You're gonna enjoy it. I will see you there. Continue to believe.
I don't really usually talk a lot about money on my videos. Maybe I should. Maybe I should talk more about it. I think it's important. I think there's just so much out there that seems to be money, 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 money that I'm trying to go against it.